So, to indulge your idea, with the sound of a 66 going by, the back of the train is next to the turntable, as you saw. And it goes off, out of the fiddler yard, through the tunnel, into the scenery, right the way through Helmden Station, past one signal, and to here. Now to see if it'll actually move. Ooh, we've got a derailment already. Let's solve that. Right. Now we're moving at the back. Oh, we are moving at the back. That poor motor in there. So you wanted to bring 90, this is 100. Plus a brake van to make 101 wagon units. You get all of it out into the scenery. And there's the brake van into the scenery. And already the engine is at Salgrave Junction. I think the U-bend here is going to be the challenge. I think there's going to be carnage and it won't get up the hill from there. If this goes around without mishap, I'm going to be amazed. And all the things that Brio taught me are wrong. It's working! My God. It's working so well. I'm going to have to take this token out and put it in the other end. That's a new one. The rear of the train still on the main line. The other half passing it. Hill. Oh, it's starting to struggle. Oh, and it's pulled the traction tyre off. If you can see that. It was going so well. Right, so I've fixed the traction tyre. Now let's bunch it up again and see if it'll make it to the top. Oh, and the traction tyre's just fallen off again. I think that's game over until 100 wagons just shreds the traction tyre. Oh well. Okay, so that stunt used the entire traction tyre, so I'm going to have to go and replace it with a new one. But I'm determined, now that the freight train is back where it started again, just make sure it's fully, there we go, starting point. So it goes all the way through here. I was determined, or I am determined, to see if something in my collection will pull it up the hill. Now, after running a couple of tests on the level, I think this is the only chance I've got out of what I currently own. So let's see how it does. Feels a bit like Sam's trains now. I'm a bit ashamed of myself, but at least I'm not running on the carpet. So is everything following? All seems to be following. The tail end of the train to come out. And there's the brake van. So we're all good. Going through Salgrave Junction as per before. It all comes down to how well it climbs the hill. There's no traction tyres on this engine. It's just pure adhesive weight. All-wheel drive. Off round the bend. token. Just put this in this end. Oh, it's starting to struggle in a way that the 28 didn't at this point. Get twin Napier engines on the case. This would do it with traction tyres for sure. Still moving. Oh, and it's stuck. Well, it was a valiant effort. Let's try again. One more time. Nope. Oh well. Good job I'm not doing a Deltic review. Oh well, it won't pull 100 wagons up my slope. So after the Deltic couldn't make it, I was racking my brains thinking what could do it, and this is my last resort. I've consisted these two together. I mean, it's going to take a double header, obviously, but finding two things that A, have traction tyres, because clearly that's needed, and plenty of traction, but B, can be consisted together, and these two are both on the same chassis, so they can be. So anyway, they're hooked on. Let's see how they do. Looks to me like they're walking away with it. And they are. So, getting a whole Deltic when all I really needed was effectively two Farish N classes. Proves it. N class will do anything. Literally anything. So as these are two 260s, I wonder if the Hatton's Garrett will manage this. Because that's two 260s. Even though one of them will be back to front, but there. Just check the whole thing is still going. Here's the tail end of the train. Yep, brake van's still going up the hill. And here we go, to clear this signal. This will be bizarre because they'll arrive into the goods yard and the goods will be stretching way out of the yard. I wonder if the whole train will actually be over the summit. Oh, that was me. How embarrassing. Right, so the two engines have reached the buffer stops, and there is the whole freight train, and the tail of it is literally hanging over the summit. The summit is pretty much halfway in between that signal and the bridge. Actually, no, yeah, more or less, but it's hanging over the end. And this is the bizarre thing, is that the tail end of the train is by this wall of the shed, and the train is so long that it goes all the way along the back of the shed, and the two engines are at the buffers, which is at the opposite end of the shed. So yeah, all the way from there through to here. But some good consumer advice: if you want to build a 100 wagon freight train, you're going to need two N moguls, albeit rebuilt into K3s if you like.